Today, I want to address a very important topic for gut health. From a question that I got from Anna this week, does larger quantities of monk fruit sugar cause diarrhea? My son and I made a large batch of lemonade yesterday and put probably about 2 cups of monk fruit sugar. 4 boys had pretty bad diarrhea shortly after drinking the lemonade. We sort eliminated some of the foods that were there. So the answer for that is yes. Monk fruit sugar can cause diarrhea if we are not using the right monk fruit. So when we are trying to heal our gut, balance our hormones, we want to try to go as much possible on a low carb approach. For that, we want to eliminate sweeteners that are spiking insulin levels, like for example sugar, conventional sugar, honey, so anything that is spiking insulin levels. So then some of the best alternatives for that, I always say, are stevia or monk fruit, but the pure stevia or monk fruit. The stevia is a plant, is 300 times sweeter than sugar. Monk fruit is a fruit, as it says, and is 500 times sweeter than sugar. So why monk fruit, as she said, can cause diarrhea is because the type of monk fruit that she's talking about was mixed with sugar alcohols. And I knew it was that type of monk fruit when she said that she used 2 cups of sugar. Usually sugar alcohols, the way we use them baking or cooking, is the exact equivalent to sugar. So sugar alcohols, is true, they have been advertised for being really good sweeteners when we are on low carb diet, ketogenic diets to prevent insulin spikes. They have 0 glycemic index. But it is not only about going on low carb diets. What is important is to follow an anti-inflammatory diet that is supporting gut health. If the cause of your weight or your hormones imbalance is that you have gastrointestinal problems, if you have bacteria overgrowth, if you have yeast overgrowth, if you have gut inflammation, it's very important to avoid sugar alcohols. So sugar alcohols are erythritol, maltitol, xylitol. So what's wrong with sugar alcohols? So sugar alcohols are not broken down and digested properly in our gastrointestinal tract. So they are gonna get fermented, and if you have an overgrowth of bacteria, there's gonna be a big fermentation. The bacteria in our colon is gonna take the sugar alcohols and ferment it. And fermentation is equal gas, bloating, indigested food that becomes a toxin and is going to end up going to the liver and overwhelm the liver with more toxins. So we don't want to put sugar alcohols when we are trying to heal our gut or we know there is some gastrointestinal discomfort. So when she was using monk fruit, 2 cups of monk fruit, is because most of the monk fruit that you find at the supermarket is mixed with sugar alcohols. Never buy stevia or monk fruit that comes on big packages, that comes in bulk, because that means they are mixed with sugar alcohols. So always read the back label, the ingredients label. They call the whole package monk fruit because they want you to buy the product, not because it's pure monk fruit. So as I mentioned at the beginning, stevia is 300 times sweeter than sugar. And monk fruit 500 times, which means you only need a little pinch or quarter teaspoon or half teaspoon for the equivalent of a whole cup of regular sugar. So if they're telling you to add 1 or 2 cups of the monk fruit, that means is mixed with a sugar alcohol. So when you buy your stevia or monk fruit, the pure ones, they come in small containers, pure. So when you wanna bake, like you are making pastries or a cake, you wanna buy stevia or monk fruit in the powder form because it's more concentrated. When you wanna add stevia or monk fruit in a liquid, like for example a lemonade, you wanna use more the liquid one because it's less concentrated, so you may use just 1 or 2 drops. But the most important, always go to the back label that only says the ingredients. So here the ingredient is just certified organic stevia leaf extract. That's it. It's not mixed with dextrose, sugar alcohols, inulin, or any other ingredient that you don't want to see in there. And this monk fruit in here says, very tiny, very hard to see, 100% monk fruit extract. So you only want to see that on the label because remember, we cannot break down sugar alcohols. We cannot digest them, process them. They are gonna feed the microbes in our gut. The gut are gonna be very happy eating them, fermenting them, and then it's gonna be translated into bloating, constipation, or diarrhea like it happened to them, like abdominal discomfort and gut inflammation and belly fat accumulation, always, because when we imbalance the gut microbes, we increase the estrogen production, and that is translated into fat accumulation. So I wanted to jump in today in the group to answer your questions. Today I answer Anna's questions, but be sure that you keep an eye when I'm jumping live every Wednesday so I can answer all your questions or submit it to me in advance. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope to see you all next week. Have a wonderful rest of the day.